Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a Minecraft Dungeons tutorial. Today we're going to be taking you through how to get to the secret level, the Mooshroom level. You're going to need to collect 10 different rooms, and these are scattered all across the levels before going back to your camp, going into a church and unlocking a special portal. This will give you a location, and then you can travel and take on the great big huge monstrosity that is this Mooshroom. As ever, don't forget to like, make sure you subscribe so you've got notification bell dinged, and go and check out the rest of my Minecraft dungeon guides showing you the final boss fight and all the boss fights, how to defeat them all, as well as the level guides. Let's go, it's Minecraft Dungeons. So next to your house, the one with the farm plot, you should find a little jumping pad. Now you can only access this level, I do believe, once you've completed the game on any difficulty. You only need to do it once. There were some reports that you had to do it like 10 times or every game difficulty, but that's not true. Just complete the game, do all the levels once, and you'll be able to unlock this next level once you've collected all the rooms. So go ahead and jump on the piston jump pads and follow the path around. What you'll find is you'll come across a church and you'll come to the other side of that bridge that you're not able to get across. Pull the lever, make it easier for yourself, and then go ahead inside the church. You'll find a bunch of pictures and pews, but on the left hand side you're going to find a picture of a dog. This is basically the first rune. You're going to go up to it and then press the X or the A button depending on what controller you're using, and it will give you the first rune. And then if you go and take a look in the next room, on the middle you should find a big altar. This is where you're going to unlock all the rooms and bring them, and then you'll unlock the secret doorway. So first off, Creeper Woods. Get to the bit where you have to free the actual villagers, all 6 of them, and stick to the left hand side. There should be quite a larger piece of area to explore. You should find these strange stone markers, or it looks a little bit like a tiny little gravestone. There is a little switch just in the cobblestone in the north, but I've unlocked this once before, that's why it opened up. You can see I'm pressing it and it opens up fully, so now you can go inside. Once inside, you can't get lost. It's one tiny pathway. Press the switch again and the next room is going to pop up in the middle, just like that. Next up is Soggy Swamp. All the way at the very end, after the boss fight, when you've defeated the cauldron, this is where you're going to find it. Instead of exiting out through the doorway, go over to the arch on the right hand side or in the top northeast, and you should come across a small little switch. There's the switch, and then it opens up the doorway and you can get the second room. Same thing as before, it's always exactly the same. Pick up the second room and you're done. Next is Cacti Canyon. Fight your way through all the way till you get to the blue key, and there you've got the blue key sitting there. There should be a switch though just by this palm tree just outside the gateway. It'll open up a gateway behind the blue key and you can simply go in and grab yourself the next room. FYI, don't worry, even if you quit the level right now, you can still keep that rune. You don't have to worry about completing the level, so you can just escape back to your camp if you really want to for all of the levels. Next up is Pumpkin Pastures. This one's a little way towards the end where you do the second part of finding the village. If you take a look at the map, what you want to be looking for is the great big stone wall next to a house that's on fire. You can see it here, it's just off to the right, so stick to the right hand side and you should pretty much always find it. There's the next lever to open up the next doorway, and you've got yourself the next room. Next up is the redstone mines. This one's a little trickier. It's on the second part where you're finding the villagers in deep into the mines, and you'll find it on this location just sort of to the left before you go to the next phase, the next areas. So don't go past that stage where the gate is there. Make sure you've gone and find the next push lever or platform. And you've got yourself the very next room. Next up, Desert Temple. This one's fairly easy. Get to the point where you need to get the golden key to open the doorway, but instead of taking the golden key and going straight out, go to the top corner of this room and you'll find the lever switch and it'll open up the next doorway. You can take the golden key with you if you do want to complete the level, but otherwise once you get the room, again you can just exit out of there straight away. Next up, Fiery Forge. You'll fight your way through the opening areas of the forge, and as soon as you step foot in the actual dungeon itself, you will have a golem laying on the floor. And as you can see, there's the switch just hiding behind the light fixture, and it opens up the next doorway. We're nearly there, only a few more to get before we've completed all of them. Next up, Highblock Halls. Fight your way through until we get to the outside courtyard where it's raining, and in the top right corner just here on the big platforms you should see a little switch, and this is the next location. You may need to clear out a lot of the enemies in and around the area first though, to make sure you're safe when you come in and out, and again you can take the golden key, which you also need to progress to the next stage too. After this it's only the Obsidian Pinnacle and we're done. Now again, this one's a bit more involved. It's inside the actual keep itself, so once you've gone past the outside and the ramparts, instead of going sort of south towards the exit point, you want to keep going up north until we get to this bookcase, and it'll open up the secret doorway. Inside it is a bit different. This is the only one that's a bit different from the rest of the rooms. You'll find 2 chests as well as usually a emerald pot. Obviously collect the rune, make sure you collect your chests, and you are out here and you can go and explore the shroom once you've placed all these runes back at the church. Now you can go ahead and put them in individually if you want, but I decided just to get them all in one go. I did look at a good few articles including PC Gamer and Lords of Gaming, so if you need any more help go and check them out as well. We grabbed the manuscript or the map marker for the question mark level. It doesn't actually have a name, and you can see you've got some more loot as well to get from these chests. And then just north from the creepy crypt or the creeper woods you should find the secret level. Now I'm not going to lie, it's pretty challenging, but it's kind of actually pretty easy once you've got the right type of items, and actually can be a good place to just go and farm XP if you want to get your levels up. You will fight absolute hundreds and hundreds of the Mooshrooms, and there's not really too many different ways to go, so you're not going to spend ages going back and forth. Mooshrooms can hit pretty tough though, so you want to have plenty of crowd control stuff. I've got the Soul Quiver, which I found really useful, alongside the Soul Gatherer or the Harvester, and a trusty Firework is always good too. You'll find a small little few offshoots with lots of emerald pots to grab before taking on the final boss. He's pretty tough. He's got a big range effect damage, so you're going to have to be able to dodge pretty quickly. You don't want to be close to him unless you can use some of the cliffs to hide behind. So initially I was kind of just dodging and ducking and using a lot of my arrows and a lot of my artifacts to get him, but if you get the right spot on one of these cliffs you can pretty much take him out really super easily. You do have to worry about some shrooms, but they're not exactly that fast, so you can kind of see where they're going to be. There's usually maybe only 4 or 5 of them. The projectile damage does hell of a lot of damage though, so make sure you are hiding behind these little cliffs, and there's plenty of space to run around, so you shouldn't have too many issues. Eventually he'll do this ground pound if you get too close, and he does go through a stage where he starts firing these. This is where you want him to do this when you're hiding behind a cliff. It might be a little bit cheesy, but I got him stuck here, and because I did have that Soul Quiver which allows you to fire arrows through rocks, it was pretty easy to get him. But even when I run out of arrows, you can see you can pretty much go in close, get a few melee hits on him and go back to your rock. As long as they're not shooting at you, the projectiles, you're going to be okay, and just avoid that ground pound as that still does damage if you're too close, even if you are hiding behind the cliff. I gained 2 extra levels just by completing this one Mooshroom Monstrosity, so it's definitely really good for farming levels, and it only took about 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at max, and there you go. He drops a pretty unique item. It's the Void Cooler. Well, I got the Void Cooler anyway. If you get something different, let me know, but that's what I got. It's a special bow. I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit gutted. I lost out on them 3% of mobs. I must have missed a couple shrooms hiding somewhere. I also got a much higher level Harvester as well, so that was pretty decent. It doesn't matter what setting you have it on, as long as you complete the game once. So you can go ahead and get these rooms on easy setting, and they should always be there. There are a few extra secret areas. You've seen the creepy crypt. That one's fairly easy to find when you go through the creepy woods, but there's another 2 creepy dungeons, or I should say secret dungeons. I've got a separate video showcasing them, how to unlock them all, how to find them, as it takes a little bit more doing, and I do want to show the dungeons for that as well. So as always, keep it locked down to my channel for Minecraft dungeons, guides, tutorials, but most normally survival stuff, and I'll see you ratbags for another video soon.